OpenAI has dropped a bombshell with Sora, the text-to-video, image-to-video, this incredible new software that is absolutely blowing up LinkedIn, up to 60 seconds, way different from, I think, anything we've seen before. There's so much to see about it and say about it. But this is a podcast, so we're going to have to do a little bit of theater of the mind here. But Jaden, I am watching you on LinkedIn, and you have always really kind of gone deep on Runway, Pika, everything else. Talk to me, because you seem totally enamored with Sora. What's happening here?
I am so freaking enamored. Also, I feel like this is like a huge like vindication. Is that the word?
Yeah,
of what I've been predicting for the entire freaking year, that everyone is going to be able to direct our own movies. This is like, I made this prediction on a podcast last year with Jack McCulley, one of the co-founders of Oculus. We were chatting about some of the stuff that was coming down the pipe. And also shout out to him, because he was telling me about the Apple Vision Pro way before that came out. But anyways, this is absolutely phenomenal. The technology is so good. If you listen to the podcast, if you listen to me talk, you've heard me talk about Runway and about Pika. I do go deep, because I do believe that video was like the next frontier that was coming. I'll be 100% honest, I didn't think it would be this good this soon. I was thinking maybe closer to the end of this year, and then maybe that would be V1, like Runway style, and it would get better. I didn't really know what to expect, because we hadn't seen anything out of OpenAI. This is mind-blowing. If you haven't checked it out, you need to go search for it, S-O-R-A, Sora. It's not available to the general public, because they literally, like, they don't know what to do with it. They have this insane model. They can generate perfect video of literally anything you want. And when I say perfect video, this isn't like Runway, where it's kind of like a pixelated GIF that's like sort of animated. This is like literally a video that looks like an actual person walking down the road in an actual scene. It's phenomenal. And it's obviously, this is the worst it will ever be. It's only going to get better. You give this thing 1 year to 2 years, and no one can tell me there will not be flawless video of anything. The compute is a whole nother question, which is absolutely insane. But Connor, like, tell me, what was your first reaction when you saw this?
So my first reaction was skepticism, right? And I'll just be honest, because, like, you see Pika and Runway and those things, and then you sort of see and they were basically usually kind of 4-second generated videos, and so then you get on and you test drive it yourself and all that kind of stuff, and I would try things, and the stuff I would try, I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome that it's video. It's, it wasn't very good. It's sort of like early Mid-Journey kind of, looking really weird, and Nightmare Fuel stuff, all that kind of stuff. But then the more I saw, because they gave Sora to a ton of people to sort of test stuff. And Jaden, you've been posting a ton on LinkedIn around it. And the more I saw, I was like, okay, they can't fake this demo. Like, I mean, these demos were all like, 20 seconds long, 30 seconds long, and they literally look like humans. So I went, because OpenAI tend to trust a little more, like they've had a little more, their demos tend to be a little more authentic, I have to say.
Trust. Okay, what you're saying, Connor, I just have to say this. Trust is freaking earned. And Google, I'm looking at you. You have lost my trust on your demos.
It's true, though, Jake.
All right, I have to say it. Someone has to say it. I'm not going to beat around the bush on that. You cannot make a demo and make it fake and then expect me to believe your next demo. OpenAI, however, has consistently made demos that they have followed through with, or when they make announcements, the quality is very good. ChatGPT is the best text generator. Sorry for the interjection.
No, Jaden, no, but you're right? I mean, like, because you have to call it out, because demos for, tiny AI companies, all that kind of stuff, you can't trust it. And the fact that Google was, but they were faking their demos, that's such a bummer. And when they tried to do it live back in last February or March, it blew up in their face. And look, we love Google.
No, it wasn't live, Connor. That was the worst part about
the first one, the one where it said, like, James Hubble, like, the telescope. What's the telescope?
The Hubble telescope had a screenshot on it. It wasn't even live.
I mean, here's the thing. Jaden and I love Google. Google, I know you're listening to us because you own all our software, but, like, you are our application god. But come on. This is what I love about OpenAI, Jaden, right? And you're speaking to the same thing. They come right out and say what this thing is. So first of all, they drop it with no notice, which is hilarious to me, which is sort of like just like that kind of like, dunking and walking away without, or like shooting a 3-pointer and like walking away without like sort of seeing if it went in and just confidence. But let me read for a second, Jaden, from their own, OpenAI's own post about this. I'm kind of grabbing some highlights, so this is not verbatim, but these are all their own words. And I want you to react to this. So it says, we're teaching AI to understand and simulate the physical world in motion. Sora can generate videos up to a minute long while maintaining visual quality and adherence to the prompt. Sora is able to generate complex prompts with multiple characters, specific types of motion, accurate details of the subject and background, and the model understands not only what the user has asked for in the prompt, but also how those things exist in the physical world. And Jaden, from your posts, it seems like that's what you were really grabbing onto.
Yeah, 100%. Well, what I do have to say is when you're totally right, this is just classic OpenAI where they just drop something on a random like Thursday afternoon, you know, or like Saturday evening or like Friday evening when everyone goes home from work. Like it's just, there is no rhyme or reason for it. I was literally driving to a meeting and got a text that was like, OpenAI drops their vision or their like video model. Literally turn around, cancel my meeting, drive straight home, get in my podcast studio, record 2 podcasts, and post like 20 posts on LinkedIn. You saw I went a little crazy. But yeah, it's amazing. This is literally a chat GPT like moment. Video is the next frontier, the next revolution. And this in my books like seals it. It's here. It's incredible technology. And like you said, you can generate up to 60-second clips. Now, breaking down like a lot of interesting facts I've seen about this, one thing that I have seen, because of course there's a lot of concerns. The first thing I think is like, oh my gosh, I can finally produce my own freaking movie like I've been wanting to do. But of course then there's concerns. There's the deep fakes. This is an election year. You know that this is going to be, OpenAI is concerned about the PR. So this model is not even open to the public. They don't know like how they're going to release this. And what I did hear them say is they made this big announcement. They showed all these videos. They said not a single video that they have generated and shown was edited. It was just exactly how it came out. So I do appreciate the clarity on that and the transparency. But they said that they literally, like, this big announcement was not like just to be like, hey, look at this cool thing we're doing. Like, they're not pumping their stock price. They're a private company. They're literally making this announcement because they said they wanted to get the public discourse going, aka they don't know how to release this. It's almost too powerful. They don't know how everyone's going to misuse it. They just need to tell everyone, like, look, guys, it's possible. Like, we have the capability of doing this. Now, you guys talk about it and tell us, like, give all the bad press before we release the model, and the bad press comes from the misuses. And I think it's a smart strategy.
Yeah, I think you're dead on that, and that's the thing I love about it, right? Like, so, you know, I have this AI mindset, and I have this newsletter, and, you know, sign up for the newsletter, you get the best generative AI quick guide on the planet, designed by the legendary designer Robert Haslam. Want to shout out that. But the thing that I literally posted about today, which is kind of ironic, right, is that, like, the future belongs to English majors. So it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but this is the point, Jaden, about why it's so dangerous, right? Because this is not something that requires a huge technical ability to, you know, figure out. The fact that you were just bringing this up, like, they show you the prompt. This is the prompt. It's like 2 people walking under, it's like Japanese cherry blossoms or whatever, or a dog sort of, you know, balancing, or, you know, 2 men on a planet or whatever it is. The fact that this is so easy to use makes it more kind of dangerous. And just to sort of like read from their blog again, or their announcement rather, again, they say, we will be taking several important safety steps ahead of making Sora available in OpenAI's products. We're working with red teamers who will be adversarially testing the model. We're also building tools to help detect misleading content, such as a detection classifier that can tell when a video was generated by Sora. I think that is going to be easier, probably technically, than figuring out if something was text generated. But Jaden, like, you're sort of talking about it, but like, how worried are you about this? We are in an election year. Do you feel like this moves the needle? Because I feel like we already have AI generated images that are showing weird stuff.
I'm biased towards not concerned, and like, if there's a cool technology, let's make it and fix it as we go. And I know that's not everyone's motto or mantra, and I'm happy that there's other people with different mottos and mantras, because I think we'll all balance each other out. I'm just typically very excited, and I want to use this. So like, I want OpenAI to, however they can get it into my hands as fast as possible, is kind of where I'm at. But in any case, yeah, I think that OpenAI, as far as like red teaming and safety and guardrails goes, I know it's going to get a lot of criticism because there's no way this tool doesn't get misused. Does that mean we don't release it? Like, cars are dangerous. You get in car crashes and die, but like, they're incredibly useful. So we release them and everyone can a car. You know, I mean, it's just the same thing for me. So I think what I will say, though, is I've been very impressed. I read that OpenAI, they actually analyze every single frame. So, you know that, there's hundreds and thousands of frames per second in a video. It's just a ton of images essentially getting generated in sequential order, and it creates a movement. They're analyzing every single frame of the videos before it goes to a consumer. Like if you ask it to generate something, they analyze every single frame to see if there's anything against their terms of service in there. So I think this is actually very phenomenal. And as far as like safety guardrails, whatever they want to have it, looking out for, they have the capabilities of doing that. Now, will people be tricky and work around it and everything they did for ChatGPT? Yes. And they're going to have to do, like, no matter how much red teaming and safety work they try to do ahead of time, they're going to have to release it to the general public to actually get like an accurate, an accurate view of what it can do and what people will use it for. And of course, it's going to be like everyone on Reddit that, created the Dan model or framework or whatever. They're going to do the same thing with the video and try to jailbreak it in whatever ways they can, and OpenAI will have to patch it and whatever. That's fine. Anyone that's upset about that, like there is no other way than having all of humanity test it to figure out, what it's capable of doing and what the safety and security implications are.
But you know what, Jaden, like you sort of said it in the beginning too, like OpenAI, I mean, the reason that we tend to be quite pro OpenAI is that it's not based on nothing. You know what I mean? Like we don't own stock in OpenAI. It's just that they have earned the trust of the people, and certainly earned our trust as well for a couple of reasons. Like first of all, it doesn't make a big show and then not drop something. I mean, there was a thing where they were trying to do vision early on, but I think they couldn't get the GPUs. But otherwise, like they just tend to drop things here and there out of nowhere. But also really importantly, and this is why I love the statement that they did, they not only talked about, hey, here are the things that go wrong. So somebody like posted like, oh, well, didn't you see the guy like running backwards on a treadmill? I'm like, yeah, you got that from their own announcement. Like they posted that themselves to say, hey, this is where it might go wrong. They might, so sometimes it goes wrong. Like, somebody might take a bite out of a cookie, but then there's no bite taken out of the cookie. We're still working on that. Like they go right to it. So whereas I feel like, sometimes companies like Google, hate to pick on Google here, but they're like, we're just sort of like trying to be careful, but then Google won't do anything, meaning like, if you're working on sort of the old Bard, and I don't know how the new Gemini is, but trying to sort of get it to almost do anything, it's like, oh, I can't do that. It's against my, it's too dangerous or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's not the solution. Like, I mean, the solution is to sort of like figure out how people can do it and to how do you distinguish. And the fact that you're talking about OpenAI actually has a plan here, and they're putting this stuff out and putting it out into the world after red teaming. I mean, think about this, Jane. Like ChatGPT has been out for over a year now. GPT-4 has been out for 11 months or something like that. Nothing really bad has happened. I mean, that's bonkers. And especially sort of like with all the AI generated images, things like that. The worst you can say is that with GPTs, people found a way to kind of like hack using code interpreter to get, get access to the source data or something like that. Again, whatever they're doing with their red teams, they're doing it, I think, in a really trustworthy manner,
100%. Yeah. I think they earned the trust. It's a phenomenal tool. I mean, if you go to their website and you look, so this is what's so incredible about Sora is how it actually functions, how it actually works. This isn't like other AI video generators where it's essentially kind of animating an image. It's literally creating a 3D environment, and the camera can go anywhere in that environment and look at anything, which is absolutely amazing. So it's being able to get, you could say like, hey, give me a shot of a person doing this, but have a drone flying in a circular motion around the person, and you get both of those angles. It has to understand physics. It has to understand so much about it. And the quality is so incredible. I think this tool's amazing. I think we're going to see major disruptions in the film industry, and the video game industry, major disruptions in so many areas, and marketing. You're going to be able to create all of your own assets and anything that you want yourself. So I'm really, really excited for where this goes, but obviously an absolutely phenomenal piece of technology and software.
It's amazing. Jaden, keep it up. Keep showing us those videos. I've been following you like crazy on LinkedIn, on YouTube, watching what you're putting out. You are like my single source of information on this. So hats off to you, brother.
Thank you so much to everyone for tuning into the AI Applied podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review. Connor did a big post recently where he shared pictures of his puppies because we reached 50 reviews. So you don't even want to know how cute his puppies will be when we reach 100 reviews, but
we're going to get more puppies.
So yeah, please leave us a review. We really appreciate it, but we hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your day.